Hello and welcome to another video where I want to share with you 3 skills which I believe are going to be of use to very many teachers out there, especially when they are setting examinations. And now that we have just resumed the school program, teachers will be busy setting examinations and all that. So I want to share with you 3 skills. One of these is how to insert a graph paper into a question paper when you're setting an exam. How do you do that? Number 2, how do you write mathematical expressions, especially when the equations are complicated, they have square root signs and so forth. And number 3, how to draw and label diagrams, of course using the word processor, which is Microsoft Word. And let's go straight to the first task: how to insert a graph paper into a question paper. I'm going to use Microsoft Word. And even in this very video, I'm using Microsoft Word. Over here, I'm capturing the screen, and what I have written here on the screen, I am using Microsoft Word. So we are going to learn how that is done. All right, straight away, let's go to the first task over here. So I go to this first arrow. I've hidden the content in that arrow, and when I click it, that content appears there. Maybe that one is a skill that I'll teach you later on, because you can be able to use this even when you are delivering your own lectures. You have your points in Microsoft Word, but then you have hidden everything. You've hidden the content so that when you want it to appear, you just click that arrow and it appears. So in the insertion of a graph paper into a question paper, it's very easy. I've already prepared that graph paper and it will be in the download. There will be a link in the download. Just click that link and the graph paper will be downloaded into your computer, so that anytime you want to use it, this is what you will do. So what does it involve? Insert a graph paper and crop the graph paper to fit into the space which you have. An example is this. Maybe in the question, on the question paper, you have such a question: on the grid provided, draw a graph of force y-axis against the extension. So the grid is provided on the question paper, and therefore I'm going to insert that grid somewhere around here. I want to insert it in this space where I have my cursor blinking. So I will go to the tab for inserting. So let me reveal the tabs over here so that I can be able to use them. So I want to insert my graph paper here. So I'll go into Insert tab there, click on it, and then on the Shapes, I click that arrow to reveal this downward, this menu here, and then I go to New Drawing Canvas. I click on it and that canvas now comes here. It is into this canvas that I'm going to insert the graph paper. So from there now I'm going to navigate to that folder where I have the graph paper, and let me do exactly that. Apparently I had already opened that Word document that has the graph paper. Copy the graph paper in your word processor. So you'll just click on it and you'll see all this highlighting at the corners. Ignore the outer one, click on the inner one so that the outer one disappears, and then just copy it, or just press Ctrl C and you have copied it. So I'm carrying it in my clipboard. So I come to this canvas and then left click and then paste, and there you have it, and the graph paper enters into the space here. That's where you wanted the graph paper to go. You can see that it is actually quite big. So that is one of the ways that you can use to insert the graph paper into your question paper. And by the way, you can be able to edit this graph, because when you click onto a particular line, you can see that actually it gets highlighted, meaning that you can remove that line, you can make it bold, you can reduce the thickness of the lines that I have there. You can do anything you want. Another method that you could use, let me remove that so that I can show you another method that you could use to insert same graph paper into this space here. Now this is a space where I want to insert the graph paper. Maybe let me go to the middle of the page. You know, I have aligned everything to the right because I knew my video is going to be somewhere around here. So I don't want it to cover up whatever I'm talking about. And maybe that is another skill. When you're making your own videos, you need to know what are you going to include in your video. Do you want to include yourself, a frame of yourself, and what you'll be talking about? Or is it purely what you'll be talking about that you want to display? That one is up to you. For me, I want my viewers to be able to see me because I know the importance of making eye contact with my viewers. So I want them to be able to see me and to be able to see what I'm teaching them at the same time. That's why I aligned everything to the right, because I knew my video is going to occupy this particular position there. But all the same, I want to show you another method that you could use to insert that graph. This is what you're going to do. You're going to go to the tab, insert, and then you go to this camera icon here, screenshot. Now, before you do that, you have to make sure what you want to insert is already open previously. So let me go back to where I want to insert it. I want to insert my graph here. So you'll go to the Insert tab and go to this screenshot here, click on the arrow, and then go to Screen Clipping. Click on it, and now the previous page will open, and then it will go gray. Once it goes gray, there is this plus sign here. That one shows me, tells me to left click and drag. Notice what happens. When I do that, I drag. I have to identify the size of the graph paper that I want. Maybe that is the match I want, and then I release, and then the graph paper goes straight into the position where I want to be. When I click it away, you have a neat grid there where now when I print this question paper, it will appear together with that graph paper. So make sure at the end of the video, you go to that section and download the graph paper. It's there. So let me hide that one and go to what I want to teach you today again, how to write mathematical expressions. For instance, I've seen expressions which involve superscript, subscripts, and square root signs give teachers a lot of trouble when they have to type the same. For instance, let's assume that this is the equation which I want to type on a question paper. T is equals to 2 pi L over G, the square root of L over G. I've written that using my graphics tablet. And by the way, if you have a graphics tablet, you can always write your equations with the hand on the word processor, and it will print it out that way. But I understand not many teachers might have something like that. So we need to have ways of doing this. So what is the task? The task is to type these complicated equations using the word processor. So let me align everything. So that is where I want to type these equations. This is what you will do. You will go to Insert, and then on the far right, you will see this pi sign here. This pi tells you that there are equations hidden there. And the moment you click on it, you can see, first of all, you can see so many symbols which reveal themselves, and now you can type your equation here. What is my equation? T, of course it's uppercase T, uppercase T, there is an equal sign. Just use the one on the keyboard, although here there is also an equal sign. Is equal to 2. And then I look for the symbol pi. It will be somewhere around here. When you expand that, you'll be able to see so many scientific symbols that we use. And my pi is there. Next, I have the square root sign. You come here where it is written radical, click on that arrow, and you'll see a good square root sign. Just click on it, and it enters here. Now this way I have got to enter L over G. So I need to put a fraction here. So I go back. While this one is still highlighted, I go back here and look for this fraction, what they are called stacked fraction. Just click on it. Now I can be able to type. Click on the first box there. I type L, and then when I say enter, the second one is highlighted, and then I have G. And then there are those arrows on the keyboard which are pointing up, down, to the right, to the left. I go to the one on the right. I click on it once, the cursor goes there. Click on it the second time, it goes there. Click on it the third time, and my equation is there. And you can see my equation, very neat equation. T is equals to pi square root L over G. I have seen teachers having a lot of trouble here. So your word processor, which is Microsoft Word, can be able to give you all that. Okay, let me type the second one. This is Coulomb's law. F is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 over R squared. Again, I enter. I go to insert, enter the equation, type the equation, and again F is equal to, you can see now this one is a fraction, so I start by entering a fraction. That stacked fraction, I enter it there, and I have 1 over 4 pi is found here. Pi is there, and then epsilon naught. Epsilon naught. Epsilon is also found here, but it does not have that naught at the bottom. So I need to look for a script somewhere here. I go here, I look for this one here. I put it there so that inside here I can put epsilon. Where is my epsilon? It's there, and inside there now I can put, I think it is epsilon naught, I think it is 0, something like that. And then how do I return this cursor? If I continue to type, everything will be on the denominator. So I don't want to do that. I go to the arrow pointing to the right, click on it once, twice, and it goes to the middle. Now we are here. We are here. I enter another fraction, and I guess now you're getting the hang of this. Up there, I have Q1, Q2. This one is a subscript. By the way, no, this one was a subscript. This one is a subscript also. This one is a superscript. So I enter that script there, and I know that is the first one. There is another one for Q2. So I go there, I enter Q, and then to the right 1, to the right again I have Q, to the right I enter 2, and then finally I have R squared. Again I go to the script over there. I choose now that one because I have got to enter superscript R, arrow to the right 2, arrow to the right, to the right, to the right, and my equation is done. You can see how neat those equations are. I've seen, again, I want to repeat this because this one is something that can improve the quality of your paper. If you set an exam, maybe it gets outside the school compound. The examinations which your school gives speaks a lot about your school. Just like the examinations, our national examinations, they will speak a lot when they are viewed by somebody else from another country. Now, I say this with a lot of concern because I have seen that even at national examinations, I could tell that the person who was drawing this diagram was actually struggling. So let me share with you a few techniques of how you can draw and label diagrams, and they appear to be very, very neat. So I'm through with equations, so let me put it away, and now I'm on the third item. So when I click there, the diagram which I want to draw is this one. This diagram, I've drawn it using my graphics tablet with my hand, but I want to draw it using the word processor. So let me go right ahead and do that. And I want to draw it down here. So let me align everything to the right over there. So the first thing that I do when drawing the diagram, I have to go to Insert tab. Then on this group of tabs labeled Illustrations, go to Shapes, click on this arrow that points downwards, and then go all the way to the bottom and insert a new drawing canvas. Insert it there. So here we have my neat, beautiful canvas. Now, for proportionality, you will insert something else. You will go to View and then Insert Grid Lines. Click on Grid Lines, and you can see now my page has turned into like a mathematics paper. Now, get your canvas along one of the lines if possible, or just leave it as it is. Now, I want to draw this diagram very, very quickly. Let's see how we do that. You go back to the Insert tabs, to Shapes, and then over here you will look for this free form. It's called free form. Click on it, carry it in your clipboard, because that is now what you want to use to draw. And I'm going to start there. So I'll go down here, because I can see that is how my shape looked like. And then I go somewhere around here. I can always edit that. Go there, go to the right, again like that. I know the second cylinder is a little bit wider, and it goes all the way up to the top. You can see the grid is helping me to align everything, and I can say that is the end of it. I can decide to format that shape. Let me make it a little bit to have first of all, I can even change, don't feel anything inside there yet. It's the outline. On the outline, I want to make it completely black. And then I can change its width. Let that be the width. And then I go again, the same free form. Now I start from here all the way to now you can see I started at the wrong point. But just leave it. Okay, fine. That was not supposed to be the point. And I'm going to correct it in a minute. I'll show you another skill that you can use in order to correct such mistakes without having to redo. So let me again go to the color. I want it to be pitch dark. Go to the weight, and I think the other one was 1, and 1.25 or 1. I think it's 1.5 points that way. Now I want to shift this line from here to here and this corner from here to here. What do? While it is still selected, I will come to edit shapes. Do you see there? Edit shapes. Click on the arrow and then come to edit the points. Click on it and you'll see the shape of the points now, they change. So I'm going to shift this one here because that is where I wanted it to be. And this other one, I can shift it here. Simple as that. And then click away and now my diagram looks okay. You can also see that there is a bit of a problem here. I can rectify that using the same. Edit shapes. And I come and move this box slightly to the right. Yep. And this one slightly back somewhere there. This one moved it too much. Want to be in the middle there. Let me see another one on that diagram. No, everything seems fine. Seems fine. So you can see, one, the grid helps you to realign your diagram. You don't have to struggle with the realignment. So make sure that you have the grid. And to have the grid there, you have just shown you, go to the view, then check this box here, written grids. If you want to remove the grid, just click it away and the grid disappears. However, we're still using the grid. So let's continue. Now I want to put the piston. My piston. Again, I go here. I'm going to choose a shape because you can see, according to this diagram, the piston is just a rectangle and this other one is just a rectangle. So when I go to these shapes, I'm going to choose a rectangle, maybe something like that. I'll come here and put my rectangle there. And you can see now it has its, I can be able to format. First of all, I don't want it to fill it with any color. Shape, fill. Come here and say no fill and the color disappears. So it becomes transparent with clear boundaries. What color do you want your boundaries to have? I want them to be black. Do you want to shade it the way it is shaded on the diagram with the hand? Yes. So go to shape, fill, and then go to texture here at the bottom. Click on it. Still go further. More textures. Click on that and you will see this kind of window will pop up here. Solid fill, no. Gradient fill, no. It is a pattern fill. A pattern fill. Click on that and you see this beautiful pattern pop up. Then I can click on it and you can see that one is done. And click away. And now your diagram, you can see your diagram now is taking shape. Click on it again because I know the other larger cylinder is the same as this one, but large one. You don't have to draw it from scratch. Just copy and paste that one. So Control C, then Control V. And you can see it will be pasted somewhere here, just within this outline here. So bring it at this particular point and be able now to shift it all the way to the right. You can see your diagram now is taking shape. It's much cleaner diagram than what I have written with the hand here. Go ahead now. I want to fill in here with some kind of color, oil, maybe. I'll have to put these dashes the way we do it in the textbook. It's very easy. Let me show you what you do. You'll go to Insert, again go to Freeform. You see that Freeform? Now trace this shape the way you want, where you want that oil to fill. Just trace it. Using the corners like that. Using the corners like that. And you come back to where you started and you can see now I can change the pattern here. I can change the pattern. I can now decide, first of all, I don't want it to have any outline. So as far as the outliner is concerned, I'll say no outline, because the outline which I have is the one due to the edges of this. But over here, it is sort of hidden by this layer. I will show you how to put it behind so that these are the lines which are going to be seen. And why don't I do that one just right now? What I'm saying is, you can see that this layer that I've put here is covering this line. So I want to put it behind the line so the line can come in front, and the line is the one which can be seen. I will go to Format, and then I'll go to the right over here, and then where it is written Bring Forward or Send Back, I want to send it back, and I want to send it all the way. If you want to send it through one step, then you use this arrow here. But if you want to send it to be the one at the very back, then say Send Back. And when I do that, you can see that now it has been sent to the back, and now the outline of my hydraulic press looks very neat. So I want to, instead of these, I want to put dashes. So I don't want it to have any fill. So it's transparent. I'll go back to Shape Outline, click on it, not Shape Outline, but rather Shape Fill, Texture, More Textures, Pattern Fill. Pattern Fill. Click on it, and now I have a choice of so many that I can be able to choose from. And I can see the one that was on the other diagram was that one. I click on it, and now you can see my figure is taking shape. It's taking shape. At this particular moment, I can put away the grid. I just need the grid in order to have the outlines, outlines properly. You can also see that when it comes to this piston here, you can see that its edge, it's as if it is, it doesn't look so nice. So what is it that I need to do? I need to move it. I need to grab this. Let me grab this and put it in front. That is the best. So I'll go to Format. Bring Forward. I say Bring to the front. Click on it, and you can see now that one has been sorted a bit. Or I can even be able to shift it a bit to the right. Something like that. This one again, does it look okay? Shift it a bit to the right. Everything now appears so good. Also, this one, I need to bring it to the front because of something I've seen here. It's being covered at this particular point. So, bring forward to the front. And that's it. My diagram looks so good. The next one is about labeling. So I will label one, and then the others you can just repeat. Oh, I've forgotten about this shape. What do? I go back here on Insert, Shapes, and then there is this one here which is written Scribble. Choose that one, come here, and with my cursor, I can be able to draw now this one. You can see that pencil shape there. You can see I can draw whatever shape I want there. And I come back to where I started from. And the diagram closes. And you can see there is no fill. There is no fill, but it is dotted. So I go back to Fill. I go to Texture. And by the way, there are so many types of textures that you could use. For example, if you're drawing this diagram for the sake of putting it into PowerPoint so that you can be able to animate the same, you can be able to use all these colors. They make your diagrams to look so neat. But remember, if they are just diagrams for the exam, there's no need making them colored. All right, I go to Pattern Fill, and it is about dots. And let me see whether that one is the one that we are talking about. Yeah, I think that is the one that we are talking about. So far, so good. That is the load. The next is to have that arrow that shows F1. So I simply go back again to Insert, Shapes. By the way, you can see that any diagram you think about drawing, always try to find out whether there is a shape which resembles the diagram which you want to draw. If there is a shape which resembles the diagram which you want to draw, you choose that shape and then edit the points. I've already shown you how to edit the points when we were changing the shape of this one. You could open up a diagram, you could straighten out a line, you could shift a point, that kind of thing. Very important. Very nice skill. So always look for a shape, a standard shape, which resembles your diagram, and then go and edit that shape. Then your diagram comes to life. This time, I want an arrow that points downwards. Starts from here and points there. That's it. And I can be able to edit the arrow. First of all, make its outline sharp, increase its weight, I make it bold, 3 points will do. There have it. And then I want to say F1 is equals to 100 newtons. So I'm going just to do one label, and then the others you can use them for practice. So I want now to insert labels on my diagram. First of all, let me move this one here so that it doesn't occupy so much space. Yeah. This is what I was looking for initially, to see the diagram that I am trying to draw. So I'm going to insert labels. So I go to insert, and all the way to the middle here, there is a text box. Click on it, and you will see here at the bottom, draw text box. Click on it, and you have that plus sign. Wherever you want the text box to appear, you go and click there, and your box appears there. So this is where I want to write F1 is equals to 100 newtons. And what do? I need a script, because I can see there is a subscript there. 1 is a subscript. Don't do something like this, F1. I've seen teachers do that, F1, and they insist that that one is a subscript. That one is not a subscript. The F and the 1, they are the same size and they are on the same level. So for it to be a subscript, there is something else, by the way. Let's still retain that, and you go to home. Over here you will see this. Let us see whether it can help us. That one is a subscript, this one is a superscript. You will come and highlight one and then click on this, and you can see it becomes a subscript. However, let's go back to a better way of writing the same. While you have the cursor inside there, go to insert, go all the way to the right hand side there, and then choose the proper script which you want. Now here you're going to say this is F, you put your arrow to the right, and then you say 1, then you move your arrow so that it comes back to the same level before you press the equal sign, and then you're going to say 100 space Newton. And when you click away, you can see is a very neat label. Very neat. Now there is this box here, there is this outline here. How do I remove the outline? I just make sure that it is highlighted like that, or it is selected. Then I go to format. Of course, format would have been automatically selected. If it's not selected, just select it, format, and then you go to shape outline, and then you say no outline. You click on it and the outline disappears. I have seen diagrams whereby teachers leave the text box with the outline when they are labeling, unless it is deliberate. Now you know how to remove that outline so that your diagram appears to be very neat. And then you can shift this one around the way you want. Oh, just have a look at that. You see that? If I move that text box, it tends to hide this line. I need to make the text box transparent. So again, I go to Format, Shape Fill, and then No Fill. Click on it and it becomes transparent. Now, you see, when if I were to move it there, it does not block or it does not hide the line, and everything is so neat. You can now do further formatting on this diagram. Take time to practice on some of these skills, because I am sure when some teachers come across this, they will really find it quite useful. It's going to save them a lot. And even one more thing, when you're using the multiplication sign, when you're writing an expression, always use insert, let me go here, insert, and then when you go to that sign over there, the proper multiplication sign is given here. I have seen what teachers do. They use the X, which is on the keyboard. That is not the correct one because it doesn't look okay. Look at this. If I write 2 and then multiplied by 3, you can see how neat it looks over there. But when I don't use that method and I write 2 space and then X 3, clearly you can see there is a difference between the multiplication sign and the X that is used there. And even the numbers, they've got a certain way in which they have been written. So if you're one of these teachers who find this video or this lecture useful, leave a comment below there, and don't forget to download the graph, because the graph is there. Just click on the link, download the graph into your computer. And if you've ever seen teachers who make this kind of mistakes, share this video with them. And by chance, if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing, because there is a ton of information in this particular channel, all dedicated to help teachers to do their best when it comes to using technology to teach. So until tomorrow, when I come up with something else that is going to help you to do your work better, bye-bye.